Dear students, welcome to the next chapter called Pointers in C++. So basically we are going to have a quick recap on the first POC what we have learned. The first POC we have come across the concept of variables. Now we defined the variables as the storage location over there or a memory location where the data is been kept or the data is been preserved. So a variable is a named memory location or name given to a memory location. So it is the basic unit of storage in a program. So whenever we write a program, we either use the constants or the variables, one among them, to store the values. Now one of the characteristics of variables is variables can keep the data and it can change or vary during the execution of the program. So the values that are stored in a variable can be changed. So the data which is stored in the variable can change or can be updated. So that is changed value will be kept. That is recent values will be kept. So a variable is only a name given to a memory location, logically speaking. So all these operations are done on the variables affects that memory location actually. Now suppose we have a variable called A. Now A belonging to some data type, let us consider int A is equals to 10. Now A is a name of the memory location where the value called 10 is been stored. So whatever operations we are doing on the name because we are not familiar with the memory location where the value is being stored inside the memory of the computer. So basically the operations are done on the name of the variables, not on the memory as per our knowledge. So now we are going to look at the other prospect of the variable concept. We will be also working with the memory, how the changes can be done to the variables. So we have considered an example. Let us consider int age is equals to 20. Now the data type that we are using is int, variable name that we are using is age, the value that we are using is 20. So this 20 reserved some memory for the variable called age, that is a value stored in a variable called age will reserve some memory depending upon the data type. The memory that they are going to reserve will vary. Now in this example, the number of memory or the number of bytes they occupy in the memory is 2 bytes of memory space because the data type is int. Now classification of data types and the memory space we have learned in the first POC already. So age, so now whatever the operations we are going to perform on the variable will be considering the name of the variable, not the memory location that we have seen in our first POC. Now what will happen when I allocate certain memory space? Now how does the memory will look like in the computer? A computer memory is divided into sequence of numbered memory locations. Each variable is located at a unique location in the memory. It is known as its address. Now talking in brief about the memory, memory is a collection of or a large collection of bytes or bits you can say, where the computer memory is divided according to us into sequence of numbered memory location that you can see in the diagram. So each variable is given a unique location, like if you own a house, your house number will be different than the neighbor house. Okay. So each house will have a unique name in your area. Similarly, each memory will have the unique memory location or unique address onto which we can refer to for accessing the variables. Now it can begin with 0. So numbers are just given here. Actually, the memory representations are done by using the hexadecimal values. Now, what do you mean by hexadecimal values? Hexadecimal values are those values that are any combination of 0 to 9 and A to F in alphabet, uppercase and lowercase, beginning with 0x. We'll take a look on the memory how they will be represented. Now for our convenience, because we don't understand the hexadecimal values, we'll be considering the numerical values for better understanding. So now if I declare a variable int marks, that marks is belonging to integer, so it occupies 4 bytes of memory space depending upon the high end of the compiler. Low end of the compiler will occupy the 2 bytes of memory space. Suppose high end of the compiler is occupying 4 bytes of memory space, then a chunk of or a sequence of memory allocation starting from some number ending with totally 4 bytes will be allocated for the marks. Okay, so the starting address of the marks is 5004. Now if you consider it as an other compiler, it will occupy only 2 bytes of memory space, that is starting from 5004, it will end to 5005. 2 bytes of memory space will be reserved for the variable called marks. This is how the memories will be operating as a large array. Now we had a concept of L value and R value in the first PUC. The L value of a variable, for our understanding, we can say it as the read value or the data value what the variable is going to store. The R value is the location value or the address where the value is being stored or the variables information or the data is being stored. Here we have two examples, num1 and num2 are the two examples that we have taken. So num1 storing a value called 65 and num2 storing a value called 100. The R value, that is read value of num1 is 65. The R value of num2 is 100, that is the value stored under the variable name. Now we will talk about the L value, that is location value. Now as I told you, the locations are the memory addresses that are represented in the form of hexadecimal codes or hexadecimal values. These hexadecimal values are beginning with 0x, any combination from 0 to 9 and A to F. So you can see over here, it's an hexadecimal value. So the name num1 stores a value 65 located at an address called 0x130E. So this is called as the L value of a variable or memory address or location value of a variable. Now can you tell me what is the L value and R value of num2? Of course, the R value of num2 is 100 and L value of num2 is 0x127E. So that's the memory address or the memory location, because it's not easy to handle the hexadecimal code. In our further references or future references, we will be considering the number or the numerical values which are in the integer type. So clear with the L value and R value of a variable. L value is the read value or the data value what is stored inside the variable. R value stands for the location value, that is address where the data is been stored. L value, data value, R value, address value. Considering another example that we have seen, if I declare the variable int num1 comma num2 and sum, Being integer occupying, high-end compilers will occupy 4 bytes of memory space. So this all 4 bytes of memory space will be combined together, and the beginning address of the num1 is considered as 0x130E, whereas the 4 bytes which are combined for num2, the beginning address will be considered as 0x125E. Okay, so this is how the L value or the memory representation is been done to the compiler. Coming to the main concept of the chapter is the pointers. Now we have referred what is meant by variable. We said variable is a storage location. What is the purpose of the variable? The purpose of the variable is to store the data values. Okay, not the addresses. Now what if I want the addresses to be stored in some names? Now what if I want to refer to addresses of a variable? Now I want to know where the memory address of num1 and num2 beginning with, or where they are residing in the hard disk or the memory. So that's where the functionality of the pointers will appear. So pointers are basically variables. First keep in your mind, pointers are variables. That means they will also store some values. Variables are also going to store the values. Now you can ask me, what is the difference between pointers and variables? The major difference that you should keep in your mind about the pointers and the variables is, the variables will keep the data values that are whole numbers, not the memory addresses, whereas the pointers will keep the values that are not the data, they are addresses of certain variables. So they cannot store the values. That means pointer cannot store the values, they can store the addresses of another variable. So defining a pointer is a variable that holds the memory address of another variable of same type. Now what do you mean by same type over here? A pointer pointing to a variable should be same as the variable type. Means if the variable is belonging to integer type, the pointer should also be of integer type. If the variable is belonging to character type, that is char, the pointer should also be of character type, that is char. If the variable is belonging to double data type, the pointer should also be of double data type. Okay, that is of same type. So a pointer is a variable, a kind of a variable. The difference is it holds the memory address of another variable, that is okay, of same type. So this is a pointer. We have taken a pointer. The pointer's main concept is the asterisk that denotes it's a pointer. So PTR is the name of the pointer, that is pointing to a variable called VAR, that is var. So pointer pointing to a variable. So where it is pointing? It is not pointing to the R value of a variable. It is actually pointing to the L value of a variable, that is nothing but memory address of a variable. Now this memory address is the location of another variable. That means the pointer storing memory address of var here. The data value of this is memory address of another variable where it has been stored in the memory. Considering an example, normal variable, what you have var, okay, there is L value and R value. Can you say what is the L value of a variable? The L value of a variable over here is 1001. R value is 50. R value is read value, that is data value. So R value is 50 and L value is the location value is 1001. I told you we will be referring to the numerical values because of convenience. Okay. So this is 1001 is the L value of a variable called var, whereas R value is 50, that is normal variable, how it is stored in the memory. Now if I declare a pointer by the name PTR, PTR is a kind of a variable. That means it will also have the L value, it will also have the R value. Now what is the difference of the pointer is the R value of the pointer, that is PTR, will be the address of a variable, another variable onto which it is pointing to. So PTR R value is 1001, which is the address of var, which is L value of var. Whereas PTR has its own address in the memory because it is one of the kind of a variable. So variables holds the memory location or the memory address. The address where the PTR resides is 2047. So this is about the pointer. Pointer is just like a variable. The difference is it is not going to store the data. It is going to store or point to the memory address of another variable. Okay, that's the 2 points that we have discussed. Now, why do we require pointers? It supports dynamic memory allocation routines. Now, what do you mean by dynamic memory? Dynamic memory in the sense the memory which is allocated when we are executing the program. There are two types of memory allocation. One is called as the static memory allocation, which is also known as compile time memory allocation. The another is called as the dynamic allocation, which is also known as runtime memory allocation. Allocation is nothing but giving the memory space for the variable to be resided inside the computer memory. So the pointer concepts will allow us to allocate the memory during the execution of the program or during the runtime, that is called as dynamic memory allocation. So we'll be discussing about dynamic memory allocation routines in upcoming class. The next thing that we are going to discuss is how the pointers are declared. We have seen how the variables are declared. The variables are declared by using the syntax data type, space you have variable name, which we have seen in the first POC. A pointer can be declared to point to a variable. The pointer is declared by using the syntax data type asterisk pointer name. So what makes the difference? There is no asterisk over here. It is considered as normal variable, data type variable name semicolon, normal variable. Now how does the compiler will recognize? There is an operator called as pointer operator. Now what we are dealing with, the pointer operator is used to declare the pointers. Okay, what we pronounce it as asterisk. So data type asterisk pointer name. So before the name of the pointer, the asterisk will appear, which denotes it's a pointer. Now examples you have pointers belonging to different data type. Int asterisk IPTR. IPTR is a pointer which can point to integer type of variable. Character asterisk CPTR. CPTR is a pointer that can point to a character type of variable. Float asterisk FPTR. So FPTR is the pointer that can point to floating type of variable. So the data type of the pointer should be same as the data type of the variable it is pointing to. That we have discussed in the definition also. Pointer is a variable which points to memory address of another variable of same type. So that is the pointer. The pointers are going to store the memory addresses and they are declared by using data type asterisk name of the pointer. So pointer names are identifiers. You should follow the rules for naming the identifiers. Now suppose I have declared a variable and a pointer. Int var is equals to 50 and int asterisk PTR. So what is the PTR over here? You can identify by the pointer operator, that is asterisk. The PTR is a pointer. It's not a normal variable. There you can see the difference between the normal variable and the pointers. The normal variable stores the values, whereas pointers will store the memory addresses or location of variables where they are being stored. See in the diagram, the var is a normal variable consisting of 50, that is the value of a normal variable, R value, stored at a memory location 1001, that is memory address of a normal variable, that is L value of var, whereas PTR is a pointer which stores the value of pointer variable is address of another variable, that is 1001. Apart from storing the memory address, it also has the memory address of its own as 2047, that is the memory address of the pointer. So this is how the pointers and variables are been linked. So basically, if I want to access to the memory address of another variable, I'll be using a pointer and making it to point to the another variable. So typically how they are stored inside the memory. See here, the pointers are actually stored in the hexadecimal code. The pointers in a PTR has been declared, var1 has been declared. var1 has a value called 100, address is 0x123, and PTR is pointing to the var1, that means it stores the memory address of var1, that is PTR, R value is 0x123, which is memory address of another variable. Apart from having the memory address stored inside, it has its own memory also, that is 0x155 is the memory address. So that has been cleared in the diagram, that is pointers in C++. So in the next class, we will be moving to the advantages of pointers and other related operations. Okay. So how the pointers are declared, how the pointers are, what the pointer is going to do. So basically, pointer is a type of variable that stores the memory address of another variable of same type. Thank you.